another episode of Ozsports FM. I'm one of your hosts, Vladimir, and beside me is my co-host, Travis.
G'day, Vlad. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone out there. Now, is there everyone out there?
There are lots of people. Come on.
The millions and millions of fans of Ozsports FM listening out there to us. It's been a action-packed weekend of sport.
Has been another one. It always is an action-packed weekend of sport.
Well, it is actually. That's true, Travis. That's quite true. Especially the World Cup. We're going to kick things off with the World Cup, as this is the major event happening in our country. And I guess let's talk about the fantastic match of the MCG between Australia v Bangladesh.
Which match?
Exactly.
That match was supposed to be in Brisbane, Vlad.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. Yes, Brisbane. Well, you know what it is. The World Cup is all over the shop.
Yes. But it of course washed out because of the...
My brain's washed out.
I think everything's washed out at the moment, but we will try and bring some clarity to the show. But washed out obviously with the cyclone happening in Queensland, which I think makes it tough because Australia would have penciled that game in. They would have had that in as a win, I think, against Bangladesh. Although they have lost to Bangladesh, previously in a World Cup, but I think they would have put that down as a couple of points and probably an opportunity lost.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little bit disappointing. Obviously, the game couldn't go ahead due to extreme circumstances, and I believe each team gets a 1 point each.
1 point, yeah.
So, I guess if they had more Australia games here in Adelaide.
Well, we had beautiful weather here, didn't we? It
was a 41.
Very hot. Yeah, probably perfect for cricket. Really.
Perfect, indeed. Yeah, very, very hot here in SA. So, look, it's a bit of a shame for the fans, especially the people that would have travelled, interstate.
Yeah,
they would have booked the hotels, tickets, and that's a bit of a nightmare. I mean, do they get their money back?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that they would. I don't know. Would there be an opportunity for them to get their money back due to weather? And
it's a good question, isn't it, Dazza? That's our recording man over there, Dazza. Yeah, he's nodding his head, or he's shaking his head. I don't know what he's doing there, but doesn't know. But yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
It is. It raises the point. I mean, what do you do in that situation? Do you have a claim to it? And I suppose then, is there the ability to reschedule the match? It's obviously pretty tight in terms of so many games and so many days with this World Cup. Can they reschedule it? It seems at this point they won't, if they've given each team a point.
Well, yeah, considering games are played during the week, and I guess that leads us to another, match between England and Scotland, and that's a strong rivalry to have there, isn't it?
Well, it is.
In all facets of life.
Absolutely. If you remember back however long ago it was, not so long ago, obviously the issue with Scotland and their potential independence and all those sorts of things. But England finally got a win.
They got one, yes. Fantastic. Now they, I believe... the score was I was going to say Scotland, but Scotland scored 184 runs to England's 303.
Yeah, Scotland never stood a chance, I don't think. England off to an absolute flyer. It was always going to be difficult for Scotland to get that tally. I think England, probably finally got that win they needed to maybe kick some confidence in for them, and maybe they'll be better as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, I guess maybe they should just stick to supporting Andy Murray. Even though he's classified as a token Englishman, isn't he?
No, he's Scottish, but he represents Great Britain and England.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh, look, it's a whole other argument. I do not understand that. I must admit, they competed at the Olympics as Great Britain, yet they can compete at the Commonwealth Games as Scotland and Wales and England and
It's very interesting indeed. But
the English team are from Scotland and Ireland and South Africa, and
it's all mixed in, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's an English player in that team.
Yeah, it's very blue blood flavoured, isn't it, Travis?
Very much so.
Very, very blue blood for all those listeners out there. Google it and see what comes up with blue blood. But another fantastic match in the World Cup, and look, this team, about to mention, or country I should say, is started off quite well, which is India. India beat South Africa.
They have a little bit disappointed in South Africa. I've banged on now for the last 2 weeks how I thought they were going to win the tournament. It's just a little blip, but
I did predict that.
Yeah, I did.
It's pretty bad.
Well, it's still early, Vlad. It's still early. So there's plenty of time for them to make it up. I obviously want Australia to win. I wouldn't say that again. But, what do you do, though? Any of India's top 4 batsmen just have the ability to put their stamp on the game, and that's what happened yesterday.
Indeed.
Darla, just sensational, 137
out of 146 balls.
Yeah,
that's like near perfect.
Yeah, good strike rate, isn't it?
Fantastic. That's a crazy innings right there by him, and something that you want to see in one day. It's a bit of that 2020 kind of batting style.
Well, it is, and the 2020 I think has helped run scoring at this World Cup. Batsmen have just come out and they're just going ballistic. 300 almost seems like a par score these days. Particularly this World Cup, India made 307 yesterday. It seems that needs to be a number to be competitive.
And they made 300 in Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, they did.
So it's something about threes. I always say something about when they come in threes. That's always positive. But 86,876 people at the MCG.
That's massive. Big crowd.
That's a massive crowd, considering probably 85,000 of them were Indians. I don't know how many South African supporters would have been.
I don't think there was many, judging by the noise and the atmosphere inside the venue. It seemed very much pro-India.
Yeah, which is, they always bring out the electric kind of atmosphere to the sport.
The dynamic.
Yeah, we saw that obviously at the Adelaide Oval, and the MCG, they obviously brought it again with a great win. So they're going onwards and upwards in this tournament, and probably the team to beat, to be honest.
Well, at this stage, the defending champions, they've just come out on fire. I wonder where this team was, and we talked about it last week, where this team was during the Tri-Series and the Test match series with Australia. Seems the longer they're here, the better they've gotten.
And look, speaking of, obviously, going back to Australia, of course, they're coming up against New Zealand, who are undefeated as well.
Yes, another massive game.
And where have they come from, New Zealand, to be honest? They weren't good many years back.
No, that's right.
They were the laughing stock, to be honest, in the cricket world. All of a sudden they're 3-zip in the World Cup. So
they've been unbelievable. The last season, really, they've just been phenomenal. Led from the front by Brendan McCullum in this tournament. I don't think anyone can stop him at the moment. It seems like it's going to take some of your best bowling from Australia to get him out cheaply, and probably with a low enough score on the board that he can't influence the game too much. Yeah, and
it's it's going to be a cracking match. Let's hope it doesn't get rained out. That'd be nice to actually see. I guess that gives Michael Clark, another week to rest up the hammy.
Well, he should be 100%. He's well and truly sort of come through that period now where they said he was going to be right. He would have played, we understand, on the weekend against Bangladesh, had that not been rained out. So you'd expect big things from Michael Clark this week.
Well, you'd hope so. And we just got word in. This is from our good the recording master behind the decks here, Dazza. He said the tickets will be refunded for the Australia-Bangladesh match.
Well, that's a good result.
So great result. So that answers the question that we raised earlier in the show. So, which is good for the fans out there. That's a bit of a nightmare and a logistical nightmare in that too. So but Australia v New Zealand. There's been a lot of uproar around the Australian camp, Travis. You've been on to this quite hotly.
It's a bit unsettled,
very unsettled.
And I think, it's been around all season. Again, we talk about season, so it's nothing new. But I think the issue here is the involvement of the past players who seem to be taking sides. Well, I think the greatest leg spinner to ever play the game is certainly involved.
Not Shane Warne.
Oh, is that okay? Yeah, Shane Warne. Shane Warne is the one who, to me, is just stirring the pot, and he needs to just step away and stay away from it. Not sure why he's involved to the degree he is. He's obviously great mates with Michael Clark.
Well, he's probably great mates with everybody, isn't he?
Seems to be.
It seems to be. And
if you're following his Twitter and his Instagram feed.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Twitter, because I obviously am on Twitter out there, so it's all you listeners out there, it's that black guy. That's the hashtag, or the tag, or whatever you want to call it. So, but looking up at Shane Warne, I do follow the man, and looking at some of his tweets from earlier this afternoon, now he's got quite a few. So, one of his tweets says here, "Let the captain run the team and the coach prepare the players. Irrelevant who is captain or coach, that's how the best Australian teams are run."
Is that right? Do you think that's true?
Well, I've never thought of a captain running a basketball team like in the NBL or the NBA.
No.
I mean, even in the football, captain's a captain, but hey, they don't run a team as such. They do a lot of on-field stuff during the match, but to be honest...
But they're only following the directive of the coach, aren't they?
Correct. Now, I'm not an elite cricketer, so I don't know if it's a little bit different in their world, Travis.
I don't think it would be that dissimilar, to be honest.
But, to say that type of statement is interesting, by all means. And, he said another tweet here as well. He's flushed these tweets out.
He's been on a Twitter rant.
Yeah, he should maybe stay off Twitter and stick on Tinder, mate. But the dating app that's out there for good old Shane Warne. But you even said out here, there's some clarity. Some people out there seem to be making way. Too many assumptions. Boof and I are mates. He's done a very good job as coach. Interesting.
Well, if he's done that good of a job as coach, why does Shane Warne feel the need to be so involved in this?
Well,
who's he arguing for? Is he arguing for Boof or for Michael Clark?
Well,
is he just sitting on the fence? He doesn't know who he is.
He's had a few responses from the fans out there, I guess well, yeah, right, of course, everybody wants to talk to Shane, but I don't know, it's interesting there. It's why is he getting involved? He doesn't play anymore.
No.
Is he on the board?
No, I don't think he has any day-to-day involvement.
So why doesn't he just shut up and watch the matches?
Well, you would have thought he would be a supporter of Australian cricket. He obviously does have his role with Channel 9. Is he? I don't know. Does he just need to stay in front of? He needs to stay in front of mine. Is that what it is with Warnie?
He just stepped over the mark. Stepped over the mark.
Yeah, I think this is something he does not need to be involved in.
This is what the Australian team doesn't need.
They don't need it right now. Exactly. They're trying to win a World Cup. This sort of stuff can't be healthy.
No, it's definitely not healthy. So, Shane, if you're listening out there, which you're probably not, but we may have to send you a personal tweet from a show here, but, stick to the boundary line, stick to your commentary, and let the team play. Let Wolf
let Wolf coach and let Michael Clark captain according to that game plan and what he wants. And I think Wolf's proven, over his time as Australian coach that he's pretty good at it. So I'd be backing him in to get the right result.
He's not shy of saying a few words, good old Wolf, is he?
No, from what we understand,
no.
He's certainly not backwards in going forwards, and I think that's what's required for a man in that job. He leads from the front as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, we love him. He's a good old...
good South Aussie.
Yeah, that's it. About time for someone from South Australia to run the team there in Australia. But actually, a funny point I'd like to make is regarding the Bangladesh... One of their bowlers, believe it or not, listen to this, folks, is being sent home for missing the team curfew.
He's missed the team curfew when he's on the plane.
Now, what would you think that team curfew would be? If someone said to you, look, we're going to send this player home because he missed the team curfew.
Yeah.
Send him home, mind you.
Yeah.
Straight away, as soon as possible. This is the quote. He will be sent home as soon as possible.
So what?
Extreme,
he must have been out till 4 or 5 o'clock or something, wasn't it?
In the morning?
Yeah.
10 p.m, Travis.
10 p.m. and it's on the plane home.
10 p.m. is the curfew for the Bangladesh cricket team. Apparently, they need permission to go past that point. And
you're hardly home before 10 o'clock, just going out for dinner these days.
On a work from home, indeed. I mean, he's planned to return to the team hotel before 10 p.m. deadline on last Thursday. So it's really? I mean,
I feel for Al. I mean, if he's going home because he's missed a 10 p.m. curfew, I think that's pretty tough.
That's pretty harsh. I mean, surely Bangladesh probably need a guy. I mean, seriously, I've never heard that before.
I mean, no. Look, I think we both understand the need for a curfew of some sort at the World Cup, but 10 p.m. is, they're not school kids.
Well,
they're adults, they're men.
Well, they are. I mean, we don't know. I guess that's Bangladesh for you. Very harsh, aren't they? So, but look, I guess, that's a fun note to end that.
Well, not fun for Bangladesh.
Well, not fun for Bangladesh. They didn't play. They got 1 point, so that's probably a victory in a way. So they probably prayed for the heavens to open up in Brisbane. So, but look, for him, he's going to be on the way home. So, poor guy. 10 p.m. Jeez, can't get over that. Interesting. But look, we'll be bringing more sport after the break. We'll head into a bit of NBL basketball and soccer.
Go those Sixers.
Go those Sixers, definitely.
Take it from me, one punch can be lethal. Thrown in anger like this, without warning, without any gloves, it can be deadly. One punch can end his life and ruin yours. It takes grunt to throw it, it takes guts to walk away.
Welcome back to our fantastic listeners out there. So let's go into our beloved Adelaide 36ers. Travis, 10 wins.
10 on the trot.
10 wins in a row. Now,
it's good going.
That is fantastic. That is NBA Jam on fire. 105. So they beat Wollongong 105-85 for the 10th straight victory.
And let's be honest, they should be beating Wollongong.
Yeah.
No small feat winning 10 on the trot.
Yeah, Wollongong 6 wins, 22 losses. So not looking good at all. But for Wollongong, but yeah. It takes pretty much 10 on the trot. I mean, Adelaide are pretty much sitting pretty now, and they've made the playoffs or the finals, whatever you want to call it here in the NBL. Yep. I like to call it the playoffs. But and they actually start this week, this Thursday. They play the New Zealand Breakers in the best of 3 series. Now, game 1 is Thursday in Auckland, so you have to check your TV guides for that. Possibly Foxtel or Channel 10. But and then the game 2 is Saturday night at the Adelaide Arena. Good old Clipsal Powerhouse as always.
Yeah, I like the
powerhouse. Adelaide Arena does not sound tough at all. I mean, really, Adelaide Arena is very.
We might need to get some Clipsal clappers.
Yes, next the big fingers out as well. All right, good old big fingers. So game 2 is this Saturday. It doesn't actually say evening on the day, but I would say it's probably Saturday evening. And then game 3 is Monday if necessary. Let's hope this winning streak continues, Travis.
Well, I think the Sixers not long ago beat New Zealand in New Zealand, didn't they, as part of this streak? So going over there probably doesn't hold too many fears for them at this point in the season.
No. And look, in basketball, when a team's on a streak like this, and I've seen it, in the NBL before, but mainly in the NBA that I follow very closely. I mean, one of the teams there, Golden State Warriors, pretty much on 17 wins, I believe, from memory. And that's once you're on a roll, and that's what basketball is all about, is getting into that zone either during the game or by actually winning the games, multiple games. So, yeah, you're right. They're not going to hold any fear, especially if they've beaten before. But being in this kind of zone, that's very important in basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's interesting. The Sixers with a full squad. I mean, they didn't have Brock Motor over the weekend when they beat Wollongong. So
provided
other guys a chance to step up, and what that does obviously is then instills confidence into those players. You couple that with the fact that they've obviously won 10 in a row, you think they would go in just sky high, full of confidence. And New Zealand, have had a pretty good year, but you would think that they'd be, probably worried about facing the Sixers at this point.
Looking at the time, New Zealand's second on the ladder, and got the Cairns Taipans on top. So in Perth and Perth and fourth, Adelaide third. So it's very interesting. And look, it's fantastic. The 36ers really started off badly this season, and have come up trumps. And I watched the finals last year, and I watched them lose, and it was devastating because they were playing so well. So they're right at the cusp of that championship, and that's what they need. That's what this city wants, is craving for. So it is that championship, because Travis, has been a long time.
Well, it has been. I was talking about this with a mate of mine on the weekend. I think Adelaide could become known again in the next couple of months as Title Town. I think the Sixers are a good shot, and we'll talk about the A-League, shortly. But with Adelaide United also around the mark, Port Adelaide, they might just win the flag. And
Travis, don't say that. That's bad. Port's not going to win it. I think the Crows will win it before.
Vlad, come on. Be realistic, my
Lord. We're a sensational club. We've got a new coach, new captain, re-energised. Now the cup is starting soon. We'll mention that later.
This optimism of Coast was. Anyway, we digress. But, look, I reckon the Sixers will win this series. Johnson comes back in, and we talked about that previously, but Joey Wright, I don't think he'll win Coach of the Year, but he's obviously pretty good at it. Led the team to the finals last year. And look, if they can get back there, that would be a fantastic result. Look, to start the season.
Yeah, look, and that's right. So let's hope this streak continues come Thursday evening, and I'll be watching that. Well, let's hope we have a bit of a time difference there with obviously New Zealand. So
so the game may probably be mid-afternoon.
Yeah, so Thursday evening, maybe a bit jumping the gun there, but we'll definitely bring you all the results next week. So hey,
we will follow that closely.
We'll definitely follow that closely. Now let's go into our fantastic other team, as you mentioned, Tyrrell Town. Could be Adelaide United. Now,
I don't want to put the mockers on either.
Let's put the mockers on them, Travis. But Adelaide United, they just got past the Western Sydney Wanderers 2-1 in the dying minutes of the game, 92nd minute to be precise.
Very good play though, good build up and a really good finish for that goal.
Look, that was Western Sydney have been rubbish all year, which is amazing considering last year. What a fall from grace. Much needed a win, because pretty much that keeps them in touch with the top three. They're in the third, but it keeps them in that group of the top three. So as the ladder stands, I guess obviously Perth still on top on 35 points, Melbourne Victory 33, equal with Adelaide on 33. So important result, but what do you reckon? So, are they going to do it? Are they going to let us down as they always done in the last year?
I don't think so. I think this is a different Adelaide United team. I think there are a couple of injury concerns at the moment. Malik obviously went down Saturday night, so I think we'll wait and see how that plays out. But he's obviously pretty important.
Very important
to Adelaide. Him and Bugard really good back there. They obviously protect Galekovic, but let's be honest, he doesn't need much protecting. He's just
they're part of the spine of the team. So Galekovic is great. For a man, to say his age, still playing in the A-League, which is great. Keepers can probably get away with it.
Yeah, they can. It's a little bit.
I like Mark Schwarzer being 105 years old and still playing in the EPL.
He is, yes, correct.
But you're right, Travis.
But look, I reckon I have a feeling about this Adelaide United team. They've been able to keep the core intact, which is obviously important. There's been some re-signings over the past couple of weeks, so that indicates people are happy. They're content here. They like the style of play. I think Joseph Gombau is the man to lead to the title.
brilliant coach. Fantastic.
I guess what the next question is then, are Adelaide going to be able to keep him if they do win the title?
I don't think he'd want to leave until they do win. You know, it's leave something here.
Yeah.
If he can bring a title to the city of Adelaide, then you can probably bow out and leave. But I think that's just going to, winning the FFA Cup, great achievement, being the first one. I mean, goes down in history. Adelaide won the first one ever. And that was a great tournament. I mean, I still think there should be more South Australian teams in there from the local league.
Yeah.
I love White City, that's just being biased. And that's obviously Travis's team as well. And
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but, that's, I guess, that's my feeling and opinion on it, is that I think he won't leave until they actually have success. Fingers crossed it is 2015 that this title comes.
Yeah. Obviously, though, if he does have that success, we do want to keep him because,
of course,
success will breed success. And, him at the helm, United, I'm not going to say they could go on a Brisbane Roar-esque run, but they will be pretty good for a couple of years if Don Bowden does manage to stick around. And as we said, he's got the confidence, obviously, of the players, a lot of re-signings in the past couple of weeks. So things are looking good for United again, which is great.
Fantastic. And we'll obviously keep you up to date with all the final results that come through in the next few weeks. So, just obviously a little bit of a disappointing crowd though at Adelaide United down at good old Cooper Stadium. It's only just over 9,000, which is
Yeah, probably not what you'd expect.
No.
From an Adelaide United Western Sydney clash. I don't know. I guess maybe the form of the Wanderers probably plays into that a little bit.
Yeah.
It was hot. Plenty happening in Adelaide at the moment. I don't know. We could probably make excuses.
Well, it's
not excuses, but we can give you reasons why. But
and there is a lot happening in Adelaide, and I guess another thing we'll touch upon towards the end of the show. But that cup starts
this week.
Yes, this week / I guess next week as well, with some of the matches looking at the time. So we've got obviously the Crows playing North Melbourne in Port Lincoln, and then we've got on the 8th of March we've got the Power, which is not my favourite club, but they're playing West Coast.
West Coast at Norwood Oval.
Yes,
which will be great.
Which will be great, and it looks like the Essendon players like Monfries and Ryder are not going to be playing for Port, so they're banding together as the agreement.
Yeah, that will look. I'm not sure. Two players. It will probably affect Paddy Ryder more than Monfries. Obviously, his first year with the club, and the best way to get to know your teammates and what they're doing on the field is during that match simulation, and you can only do so much of that at training. So it would affect him more than Monfries, I think.
And they're going to throw him in, Travis, I believe, into the in the in-house trial anyway. So he's not going to be sitting.
That's right. He'll play internal, and he'll get match fitness, but he obviously can't quite replicate the game.
Yeah, no, of course, no. And so that'll be interesting, and I'm going to definitely head to one of the Crows matches, probably the showdown one at good old Footy Park / Amy Stadium. I'll go check it out, but more of an observatory kind of. I don't really care what the result is, to be honest, and that's like God honest truth, as long as we smash Port Adelaide. But I just want to see the players, and that'll be in the next few weeks. So we'll there's plenty of AFL to come on this show, but obviously we were talking about major events in the city. Clipsal 500.
Yes, starts Thursday.
Yes, starts Thursday. Yes. So that's a massive event that happens every year here in the city of Churches, but which I've obviously, and like yourself, have been to before.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Great
event.
Yeah.
Fantastic event. I do miss the Grand Prix. I wish we had a Grand Prix, and I still don't know why we lost the Grand Prix. But the Clipsal 500 has sort of taken its place, but it's gotten bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, it seems to be bigger each year. Seems to be more atmosphere around it. Seems to be more people going to it.
Yes.
It is a really, really good event.
And you've got great musical acts. And Cole Chisel this year. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I've been to a few previous concerts there, being in the Muso. So, it's a fantastic event, and we'll definitely, obviously, bring all the results from the race, or 2 races, because it's split now.
Of course. But a big year for the V8s. Marcus Ambrose coming back after a few years in the States, and Win Cup has had a real stranglehold on the title there. So is Ambrose the man to dethrone Jamie Win Cup, I wonder?
Possibly, but we'll find out.
Very early for predictions, aren't we?
It's very early for predictions, especially very early for predictions. But look, the race is all exciting. It's a great crowd. Well over 500,000 people go and watch it over the 4 days, and it's getting bigger and better. Is it bigger than Bathurst?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. I've never been to Bathurst.
Neither have I, but
I'm going to say no at this point, but doesn't mean it can't overtake Bathurst.
It's the first event of the year.
It is, yeah.
So, start the season. So, I don't know. I've seen Bathurst before on TV, of course. I've been there, but I don't know. I think the clips will it's got something about it, and I think the drivers are aware of it, and it's the start of the season, and it's really got the split races now, which changes the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah.
So, that's something for our listeners to ponder.
It is, yes. Have a think about that. Maybe you can contact us and get in touch with us, and we can talk about it maybe in a bit more depth as we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Throughout the year, but just on Clipsal as well, probably perfect weather this weekend. We know in years past Clipsal has been boiling hot, but I think mid-30s at this stage predicted over Saturday and Sunday, which will make it a lot more comfortable for those in it.
Definitely. And the drivers too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, look, I think on that note, we'll wrap up the show for another week, episode 3. So, to all you listeners out there, and I hope there's plenty out there, and
we know there are plenty, Blake. Come on, don't sell us short.
That's right. That's why it's going live via India. So there's little billions of them listening out there. It's going to be the number 1 sports show in the country, and we'll hope to do that in Australia as well as our own city of Adelaide. So yes, tune in next week.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next week.
See you then. See you, mate.
Bye.
Culture's on a good night. It's probably one of the best rock and roll bands in the world.
For nearly 4 decades, Adelaide's Cold Chisel have defined Australian rock and roll. Their last national tour was the biggest ever by an Australian band.
Anybody wants to join in the audience?
Their music, like their appeal, is totally timeless. Check it out.
I left my heart to the disciples round K-Sin. Well, the last way down the sickness almost gone. And on the 7th by an hour, and I'm letting in Hong Kong. I've had a beautiful living on the same old merry-go-round. Looking like a quiet girl. Got my cheek wide and a 3-day glow. Cheek wide and a 3-day glow. It's my turn. They got nothing I want. They got nothing I need. Is this the way it's gonna be forever now? Oh, the flame trees around the weary driver. Got the keys to the city, baby. First thing you know, I'll be back in the river again. The things I love in you, it's all for you. There are songs in the world. Standing on the outside looking
Now comes Australia's greatest band, performing the anthems that have become part of Australian culture. Marking their 40th anniversary, Cold Chisel play a once-in-a-lifetime exclusive South Australian performance. Sunday, March 1st, 2015. Clipsal 500 Adelaide is proud to welcome home the legendary Cold Chisel.